Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a little fall reading vlog. So I have a few books on my TBR that are like fall related, a little bit fall themed, or just books that people recommend to read in the fall. So we're gonna just be reading a couple together in this reading vlog. I'm so excited. I love seasonal reads. I always pick out fall reads or Christmas reads to read around those times, and it's so much fun. It helps you get into the mindset, it helps you get into the spirit, and it just really sets the mood for those seasons. So I am just so excited. So like I said, I have a few options, but I do know that I really want to start off with The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her last name, but I read The 7-Year Slip by her and I loved it. We all know how hyped up this book is on Book Talk, BookTube, and I loved it. I think I rated it 4 stars. It wasn't like my absolute favorite book, but I really loved the writing and the message behind it and the magical realism aspect of it. And this one I am just very excited to read. I will let you guys know what this is about once I actually get into it, because I love the element of surprise when I'm reading, so I don't know what this is really about. But look how cute. I love her covers so much. Like Ashley Poston's book covers are by far my favorite book covers ever. They're just so cute and the colors are so good. Anyways, that doesn't matter, but this is going to be our first little fall read. I'm very excited, but I figured I would just show you guys the rest of the books on my little fall stack that I have here. So we also have How to Sell a Haunted House, which is a more horror themed, which like would honestly probably be perfect for October, but I'm honestly like really wanting to get into like the spooky season kind of vibe too, so this could be a really good possibility also in this video. And then this one, I don't know if it's actually fall themed, but I heard that they go to like a Halloween party or something, and it like happens like during the school year, so we have nothing like the movies, and I'm really in the mood for this one. I kind of just bought it, broke my book buying ban unfortunately to buy this one because it just came out in paperback. And then this has been sitting on my TBR for like 3 or 4 years. We have Truly Devious. This is the first book in, I want to say it's like a 5-book series, 4 or 5 book series, and I really need to get to the series this year. This is on my fall TBR. I need to get through the series, or at least just read the first one, see if I want to continue the series, because it's been sitting on my TBR for way too long, and I've heard good things, and I feel like it's gonna give like the perfect spooky kind of like dark academia fall vibe. And then lastly, we have my September book of the month book, which is The Heartbreak Hotel, and I don't know much about this one, but I'm thinking it takes place in the fall just based on like the leaves on the ground, but I don't know exactly if it's like super fall themed. But those are like the only like fall books really that I have on my physical TBR, so those are the ones that we're gonna be choosing from for this video. But like I said, we will be starting with The Dead Romantics, so let's get started. I am so excited. I think this book is so perfectly what I was in the mood for. Exactly what I needed right now, and I think that's why I am enjoying it so much, because okay, I needed a fall read, but like this one, it's not necessarily like, it doesn't even take place in fall. It literally takes place in April, and so it's not giving like a fall atmospheric sort of vibe, but because of the premise of the book and the fact that there's the whole ghost element to it, it's very giving like the perfect fall vibe. And so if you didn't know, we're following our main character Florence, and she is a ghostwriter for a very famous romance author, but she's having like a lot of trouble writing currently because like to write romance you kind of have to like believe that love like exists and everything, and she just doesn't anymore. And so we get like a little bit of background on that. Hi, you're so cute. And so we have that whole aspect of the story, and like we also meet our male main character during that, who honestly, like, he doesn't even play that big of a role in the book so far. Like, he's not like we're mainly just following our female main character, but he is her editor, so he's playing that part of the story. But then her father passes away, and grief is like a huge topic in this book, so if that's something that you don't like to read about, or if you're sensitive to grief, I would definitely steer clear from this book. But she has to go back to her hometown, and her parents actually run the funeral home in the small town that they live in, and so like they grew up there and they're like very used to that whole thing. But because of the fact that they grew up there, Florence and her dad could actually see and speak to ghosts, and which I know sounds like really crazy and like kind of like a little silly, but it's actually not. Like, it's very like interesting, and it flows very well within the book. Like, it doesn't feel very like outlandish or anything. It just fits with the way that it's written. And so while she's back in her town, like taking care of like her dad's funeral and everything, her editor shows up as a ghost, which means that he's now dead, and she can see him. And like basically like ghosts visit her because they have unfinished business, or they just like want to talk, whatever. But like once their business is taken care of, they're like gone. Right now we don't know exactly what's gonna like make him satisfied enough to like pass on, but right now we're just like dealing with that. And like I said, I am really enjoying it. I think it's just so perfectly what I needed right now, and I really love her writing. Her writing is incredible. He's so cute. Do you see? And by the way, I know that sounded like I just gave you guys a lot of plot, but it says all of that on the back. So I'm very interested to see like why exactly she's having to help him, or like what it is that he needs, which like they kind of mention that it'll be like he needs to help her believe in love again so she can finish the book that she's been writing forever, that she hasn't even been able to really start. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I am going to continue reading it right now because I'm stuck laying here because of him. He's right on top of me, can't go anywhere. So I am gonna continue this, and like I said, it's just like the perfect step into the fall vibe. Like, I feel like the fall reading, I didn't want something too crazy yet, so this is just like perfect. Like, I feel like this is just the perfect vibe, the perfect book that I was looking for. And I really, this is making me want to read the rest of her books, because I read the 7-Year Slip by her, and she has 2 other books out, I believe, that I haven't read yet. A Novel Love Story and Sounds Like Love. I haven't read those, but I really want to, now that I've read this one, and I am really enjoying it. So let's keep reading. Okay, I'm on page 291. I'm like really close to finishing. Like, I have like 50 pages left. The reveal that was just revealed, I'm like shook. Like, I was not expecting something like that. I was honestly like thinking that this book was like lacking something. Wow, I am shocked. Like, that took me so by surprise. What? Literally what? Okay, so it's time to talk about The Dead Romantic. So I loved this book so much. I fell in love with her writing seriously in this book. I really enjoyed it in The 7-Year Slip, but I really noticed it exceptionally in this one, and I cannot wait to read her other book. I loved that our main character was a writer. I love reading about writers. It always makes me so motivated to write my own book, and I loved that aspect of it. I love like her little like magical elements in her books, magical realism little elements that she includes in her books, because they're so unique. Like, how did she come up with this? How does she come up with her ideas? I just cannot wait to read more of her work. But my only issue with this is that the romance between the two main characters was so good, but we barely got any. Like, I wanted more of it so badly because I loved our male main character, and their relationship, based on like the little bit that we saw, it had so much potential, and I wish that we were able to get so much more of it. This lighting is so weird. I feel like when I'm editing this, I'm gonna hate it. All right, let's move locations. Okay, the lighting is definitely better over here. So like I was saying, I just wanted more of the romance because I loved the couple so much. So I ended up rating this 4 stars, and it literally, the only thing that I didn't like about it, and like the only reason why it started to get a little slow for me, is because the romance was lacking, and literally that's it. So when you're going into her books, I feel like you have to sort of understand. Actually, it's more so with this one, because I didn't really feel this way with The 7-Year Slip. And I think people have said that as her books go on, the romance gets like heavier in the plot. But just don't go into this one expecting a lot of romance, so then you can kind of be surprised a little bit. It's like The Great Big Beautiful Life. When everyone was talking about Great Big Beautiful Life, they're like, you cannot go in expecting a lot of romance or else you'll be highly disappointed. It's mostly like her story. It's mostly like a women's fiction kind of, and the grief that she's dealing with and everything. And so with that being said, it is time to move on to the next book that we're going to be reading, our next fall read. And I showed you guys all of my options at the beginning of this video, and I'm going with one that I was not expecting to go with. We have the Heartbreak Hotel by Ellen O. Clover, and this one was my September book of the month book, and just the cover is so pretty. Like, I honestly am very, very excited about this. I hadn't seen anyone talk about this until literally yesterday. I watched Haley Pham's recent video and she was reading it, and I tried to like block out her opinions because I want to form my own opinions about this book, since I have literally heard like no one talking about it, and I don't know much about this yet. Obviously there's like some sort of house in hotel sort of thing. Literally no idea. So we're going into this like completely blind, and I love that. I love going into books blind, so I'm very excited. So book number 2 is going to be The Heartbreak Hotel. So I have reached the 100-page mark in The Heartbreak Hotel, and obviously I took the dust jacket off because I don't like reading hardcovers with dust jackets on, so that's why it's looking like this. But I'm 100 pages in. I just hit chapter 12, and basic plot of the story has formed, which obviously 100 pages in, you kind of want to know what the plot of the story is going to be. And basically our female main character, Louisa, she just got broken up with by her boyfriend of 6 years, and he's like this huge pop star, music star or something. I don't even know if it's pop, but he's like a huge music star. He's very famous, very wealthy, and since they had been together for 6 years, they had a home together, and it's a really big house that she loves so much, but she can't afford it just herself because she doesn't work, because he paid for everything. And so she was like really upset about that because she loves this house so much. It's her home, and he agreed to give her the house, but she can't pay for it. So she decided to turn it into a little hotel for people to visit who are like kind of going through the same thing, or it's like just for like people who like need to kind of like get over something like that, like the Heartbreak Hotel. And then our male main character, the way we were introduced to him, like he's giving like grumpy, like it's kind of like a Grumpy Sunshine sort of book, except she's not very sunshine because she's like upset about her life and everything that's going on, but he's just like really cold with her for no reason, or like no reason that we know so far, because they hadn't met before. Like she had never met him, but he's like really cold to her. And now he's like starting to be more involved because, oh, by the way, I didn't mention this, but he's the landlord of the house, because Louisa and her ex-boyfriend Nate, they were renting this house. So in order for her to make the house an inn, she has to like go through him and like make sure it's okay with him and everything, since it's his house. And so I don't know, he's just, I don't really like him. I don't like him. I'm not loving her either. I'm not really loving the story. I think that the plot is really like fun. It's definitely like a different story that I've never read something like this before, dealing with like an inn and like making it so that people who are like also going through heartbreaks can like stay there and like they can all like be together, because like essentially she's like trying to get her therapist license so she can do that. I don't know, it's just, I'm not entirely loving it, and I'm not desiring to pick it up, which is really unfortunate because I was so excited to read this. Like I had been itching to read it for so long, and now that I finally am, I'm just not really loving it. I'm definitely going to give it more of a chance though, because like I said, I think that the storyline has potential, but there's also side characters in this that are a little annoying too, that I don't really like either. So those are just my thoughts at the moment. Not living up to the expectations that I had for it, even though like I didn't even like hear anything about it. It was just like my own personal like excitement to read this book. So that's what I'm feeling right now. So we're gonna keep reading this. Maybe my thoughts will change, we'll see. Okay, so I am now 73-ish% in, and like I read a big chunk last night. Like I only have this much left, and I'm hoping to finish it today or tomorrow. But honestly, you guys, I'm still not loving this book. I'm not even liking it, if I'm being honest. It really helped though to find out what happened to Henry, our male main character, and kind of understand why he is the way he is, and his whole relationship with his house and the whole idea of the Heartbreak Hotel. I think that it was really important for us to learn those things, because it definitely helped us understand his character and kind of the way he comes off better. But I find it very repetitive. I'm not really loving the writing style, and I don't know, I don't really like the female main character. She's not really giving much. I'm just not enjoying this really at all, and I'm not wanting to pick it up. I'm simply wanting to finish it. That's just how I'm feeling, and it's so disappointing too, because I was like so excited to read this book, but oh well. Some books aren't for everybody. This book just isn't for me, and like I don't know why, or like I don't know if it's the books I'm reading or if it's me. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had a 5-star. Actually, let's find out how long it's been. It has been since May since I've had a 5-star read, and I am so desperate for a 5-star read. I want to be like obsessed with the book so badly. My last 5-star read was Sunrise on the Reaping, and that's like a 6-star read for me. And like honestly, at the beginning of this year, I feel like I started off really strong. I've had like a few 5-star reads this year, but they were all at the beginning, and 3 of which were 6-star reads. Like I started this year so strong, and now just like the past few months, or literally since May, I've gotten close. There's been 4 stars and like some 4.5s, but like for the most part it's been forever since I've really been obsessed with the book and rated it 5 stars. And I feel like I'm kind of going crazy because every book I read is just not satisfying me in the way that I need it to. I just need a 5-star so badly, and this book just obviously is not it. It's honestly, if I'm being honest, it'll probably sit around the 2-3 star range as of right now, unless the last 90 pages gets like significantly better. We're looking at not such a high rating. So anyways, long story short, I'm gonna finish this book and then I will give you guys my full wrap up and review. Last night I finished The Heartbreak Hotel. My thoughts have stayed relatively the same as we last spoke, and the ending though, like the ending was sweet, and I'm glad that things were said and resolved between the main character and some of the other side characters. I'm really glad that those things happened, and therefore I decided to give the book 3 stars instead of like something lower, just because I like the ending kind of like earned a little bit of points back for it. And honestly, I would recommend this book. If I'm being honest, like I would recommend it because I think that if you're looking for a cozy fall vibes kind of read, I would recommend this. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't personally like it, but it's decent, so I would recommend it. So with that being said, that concludes this little fall reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am so excited to read more fall books this season. I have so many more on my physical TBR and I'm so excited to get to them. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys so soon. Bye guys.